Hey, what is up guys, T-Bot here, and I welcome you to the very first episode of Silver Thoughts, where I just find something to talk about and I share my opinion on that subject. But I will be changing the name when I get into gold and plat, if that ever happens. So today I'm going to be talking about Draven, one of my favorite ADCs who just does a lot of AD damage and can be really hard to lane against. In laning phase, I generally try to be as aggressive as I can, and I try and find an aggressive support. But supports that do that heal a lot can be really good. But sometimes I just like to farm and wait until late game to carry. But you can trade fairly easily as Draven because your Q gives you extra damage. It's like a BF sword level 1 kind of. But you only want to try and trade if you can get a free auto attack off. For example, if the enemy Kate is mid auto attack on a minion and you hit her, she can't retaliate because she's hitting the minion instead of you. Also try and trade when they don't have spells up, like a Blitz Hook or a Thresh Q or even a Kate Q, because it makes it harder for them to hurt you and easier for you to do as much damage to them as possible. And lane, I would say winning trades early as Draven is really important for you to win lane. Because if you really don't, it's really hard just to 1v1 someone. Well, it's not hard to 1v1 someone, but you usually don't find yourself fighting someone full health. Usually you or they are really low and you have to either outplay them or you just stomp them because they're low and you're not. But mid to late game is when I think Draven shines the most because he has some core items. For me, I like to get Yomus. It's a really weird preference of mine. But yeah, I like to get Yomus, but mid game he can literally two-shot people, or if you're playing your cards right, he can do so much damage in team fights. Like his ult does a lot of damage, and brutalizer on him isn't bad, but it's not the best, I don't think. But yeah, it's really important to try and stay relevant into late game as Draven. But mid to late game is where I really like Draven, but I always try and have a buddy with me, like the support or the jungler. And sometimes I'll go mid if I take their tier 2 tower bot, or not tier 2, tier 1, tier 2 maybe if we're destroying them. But this game, it was just a normals game with me and some friends. We were like a full team, and I went crazy in some parts. But one of the things I don't like about Draven is his Q. It takes a little bit of practice to completely master, like catching all of his axes, as you can see right here. I did drop it because I misclicked and I hit a minion, I think. And sometimes it can be really annoying in lane, and it sometimes puts me on tilt, but I try and just ignore it as best as I can. Get as much CS as possible. But overall, Draven's just like amazing ADC to me. But for the build I like to do, I like to go back. My very first back, I like to get BF sword, and then I come back into lane. I try and get Yomus, and then my second back I try and get Yomus and maybe boots if I'm doing really good. And Yomus, I know it's like really weird to like you see a Yomu's Draven, but it really helps with his Q and his auto attacks. He's just pure AD, so I mean you increase his attack speed and his armor pen, and it's just a really good early item for him. And plus you really don't need the lifesteal if they're dead, because as you'll see later on in this video, I like two-shot people because I just build a lot of crit. Like right here, I did mess up because I didn't hit him with the full part of my first part of my ult. But I did a lot of damage, and sure didn't do a lot of damage to me. But yeah, so I like to get Yomus, then I like to get Pickaxe and finish Berserker Greaves, and then I try and finish IE as quick as I can after that. And then after I finish IE, I like to go Last Whisper, but you can go Static Shiv. But either way, you're getting both of the items. So after you get Last Whisper or Static Shiv, I like to go Bloodthirster, because you do need some lifesteal later on in the game. You're gonna need it if it's a really close game. But after you get Bloodthirster, I usually finish Static Shiv or Last Whisper, and because I don't like having a defensive item on Draven. I really like the all-in type style that Draven brings, because his escape really isn't that great. I mean, it gives him move speed, but I really think that it's just for fighting, and I don't use it to escape that much, but you never know. During team fights, I really don't try and target anyone. I just try and right click and do as much damage as I can to anyone who's near me, because I really don't, as Draven, you don't have an escape, so you really just don't want to run out there and just get caught in the middle of it and be CC'd by like their tanks and stuff. I try and just stay back and auto attack as much as I can. Even if it's on their tank and I'm not doing damage to their ADC, I'm still doing damage because like that's the only person I can hit, and I'm not gonna go in there with someone that doesn't have an escape and just try and do as much damage as I can before I die, because that works sometimes, but I do like to play kinda safe on Draven sometimes, but sometimes when I'm stomping I do a lot of dumb stuff, like I tower dive, and I like solo tower dive. I don't even wait for teammates or anything. I just solo tower dive sometimes, and I think he's I don't know why, but I think he's really good for tower diving, because every time he catches an axe he gets his W back, so it's kind of like I can tank a lot of the tower, and I dish out a lot of the damage that our team's gonna be doing. But it's just really nice to have his W and everything for tower dives. But as you can see right there, I just really like doing crazy stuff when I'm ahead. Even when I'm playing ranked, I just like doing dumb stuff because it's just who I am. I don't know, silver life. It's just something I do. Another thing that's really good about Draven in teamfights is his ulti. You can hit anyone no matter where you're at. Well, depending on where you hit it, but where you throw it. But you can hit the back line, and your ult does do a decent amount of damage if you're ahead, or even when you're not ahead, it still does a pretty good amount of damage, considering that it's a global ulti. But a lot of global ultis do a lot of damage, but Draven's is really good because it has two parts to it. Most global ultis, like Ezreal's, they only have one part, and it usually doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does damage. But Draven's, it's like two Ezreal ults in one, so it's just it's really nice to have. And Draven's ult really just goes well with how I like to play in teamfights, because I really just like to sit back and just auto attack as much as I can, try and get as many axes, adoration stacks as I can in teamfights and stuff. And it just really helps me, because even though I'm not auto attacking their backline, I'm still going to be doing some damage to their backline, even though it's not going to be as much, like a lot. I'm still going to be doing a decent amount of damage to their backline. All in all, I think Draven's just one of the best ADCs out there. He's kind of underrated because a lot of people think that he's really hard to play because you have to catch his Q, you have to catch his axes. But it does take some practice to like completely master. I'm not that good at catching them, but there are people that are really good at catching them, and the people that are really good at catching them, they usually just dominate lane because like they know how to play Draven. But Draven is one of my favorite ADCs, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's gonna be a little bonus clip after this. It's just a little cat pinta, but I'll be coming out with a new Silver Thoughts soon. It'll probably be shorter. Thanks for watching.
Roxy, T-Bot!
No!
Pull to the fade out of base.
I'm too low!
No, you're not. I have enough damage that all you have to do is auto attack them.
Alright, well let me keep my Q up.
Go.
In that pole.
Land it!
Go.
It's worth. It's not in range. Just wait for the minions then.
Oh boy. The damage. She's here for the damage.
Why am I taking it?
Correct!
Guys! Guys! Not our best plan. Gotta be honest.
Ah,
Oh my
boy.
god!
Penta!
Penta!
We lost.
GG! FF!
Such a. No, don't.
No, let's end it.
Everyone say yes. Say yes.
No!
Sprout. Sprout, why?
We tried to do FF.